Hi guys, my name's Hayden, and I want to talk to y'all about a time in my life when I felt God was walking there beside me. So my story starts right after 8th grade in that summer leading up to my freshman year. And I'm sure as many of y'all know, that time is super interesting because you're excited to start this new chapter of your life. You're ready to make all sorts of new friends, and you're curious as to what you're going to accomplish. But for me, that curiosity was more of an anxiety. You see, my entire life, my parents had always motivated me and my siblings to do the very best at whatever we did. And I'm so thankful for that motivation because it inspired a super strong work ethic for me. However, it was also the source of my biggest fear. My entire life, I had been terrified of failing my parents and not meeting the expectations they had set for me. I had this absurd idea that if I failed, my parents would disown me or something, and this anxiety only grew as high school approached, where I knew so much more would be expected of me. And it did not help that my sister happened to be her high school's valedictorian, student body president, a national merit scholar, a two-time varsity athlete, and the leader of any club you could name. Also, during this time, my relationship with God might as well have been non existent. Despite having been raised Catholic my entire life, I did not care about God. He was this guy that I talked to for 5 minutes on Sunday. I asked him to keep my family healthy and happy, and then I ignored him for the rest of the week. But I am thankful to say that that soon changed. At the start of June, my dad and my sister had convinced me to sign up for this retreat at my church called Shine. Shine took a bunch of high school students down to the border of Mexico where we provided service to the needy and elderly in the community. I had such an enjoyable time on this retreat, and I met so many cool people. But my relationship with God was still as artificial as ever. That is until Wednesday night. Wednesday night, our church took part in an activity known as prayer chair, where one person sits in a chair while everyone else places a hand on them to pray for them. During this activity, I really debated taking a seat in the chair, especially after seeing some of the extreme emotional responses of the people who had sat down. But to be honest, I kind of thought they were just being dramatic. So after a while of praying over people, I finally decided it was my turn to be prayed over. Almost immediately after sitting down, I felt God with me for the first time. And I began to cry, just knowing that I was in the presence of God. He had come to be with me. So I guess it was my turn to be dramatic. All of the hands placed on me seemed to feel like one hand, the hand of God comforting me. And I felt my worries and fears melt away. And I knew that all that mattered in this moment was God. Since that retreat, my life has changed drastically. I was able to establish a real, authentic relationship with God, and I've been strengthening it ever since. And no, this retreat did not completely get rid of my fear of starting high school and rid me of these false expectations, but what I did realize was that my worth does not come from what other people think of me, but only from Him, only from God's love for me. Now I know many of y'all are facing challenges similar to mine or far greater than my own. But when you feel that you are walking through hell, God is there to carry you through if you just let Him. That charisma, that love of God, has no limits. And there's nowhere we can hide from it. So I hope now, more than ever, in this time of uncertainty and fear, each one of you know that God is able to be with you. God is walking with you, holding your hand the entire way. Thank you guys so much.